morning and tell him he's got to get a job. Certainly sounds like a family tragedy. Mrs. Clifton, this is your daughter-in-law, your son's wife?
Yes, ma'am.
You claim that you advanced to her or loaned her $2,500 for a lawyer when she was incarcerated.
Yes, ma'am.
That she has had a serious history of substance abuse.
Yes, ma'am.
As a result of that, you are caring for her children, and you also want $2,500 for the care of her children.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me how long your son and daughter-in-law were married.
They've been married approximately 4 years. They have 2 little boys, one 3, 1 year and a half old. She moved into my home in October, and I didn't really realize how bad her problem was until...
When you say she moved into your home, where was your son?
He was living there also, already. He had moved in September. The boys moved in October. She moved in around the 1st of November.
Was it after she had moved in with you that she was incarcerated?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now tell me how this lawyer's bill came about.
Her problem started with me, that I knew that she had a bad problem, was in December and January, where she would want to get high or take off and drink, and she'd climb out the window. We reported her a missing person one time. She was gone for like 5 or 6 days. And through the whole month of January, I think she left the house like 3 to 4 times and didn't say where she was going, when she would be back. Didn't even tell us she was going. One day she climbed out my bathroom window.
Would you tell me about the lawyer, please?
Then she got locked up.
When?
February the 18th of '97.
Okay.
So I had gone to Lancaster to her court hearings like 3 to 4 times, and they were putting her in state prison. So she calls me and tells me to go talk to her previous lawyer about seeing if they could not get her into a rehab place or getting her out of jail.
She was, in fact, in jail at that time when she called you.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say a previous lawyer, she had a previous arrest history?
Yes, she's got 2 felony marks against her already.
For drugs?
One for, I don't know what they call it. She wrote some kind of a check and deposited it into her bank account. Okay. 2 or 3 days later, drew the money out. The bank noticed that it was not a true bank account.
Okay.
Okay. That's 1 felony mark. June, I think it was, of '96. She got picked up for possession.
Of drugs?
Right.
Okay, and this
They locked her up 2 weeks then.
All right, so the attorney who had represented her in this previous matters was the attorney she wanted you to go to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you knew who that attorney was?
Yes, ma'am.
So you went to the attorney, and what was his retainer?
His retainer was $2,450. $2,450.
And how much did you, in fact, pay him?
On March 4th, I paid him $1,500. Mm-hmm. I have the receipt right here.
Okay.
And in May 6th, I paid him another $550. Mm-hmm. Here's both the receipts.
Okay, so let's deal with try to keep it simple. Let's talk about the attorney's fees first. In your answer, you will say that you are not responsible for these attorney's fees. You want to tell me why?
I got incarcerated because I violated my probation because I had a dirty test back in '96. So I knew I was going to get some time in February when I went. And there's nothing a lawyer could do for me that a public defender couldn't. But I guess my husband kept telling my mother-in-law that he wanted to get me out because I was in there longer than they figured I should have been. And she called me and asked me what the name of the lawyer was and what the number was, and so I gave it to her. I did not call her and ask her because I can't afford it. There's no way I can pay for it. That's why I didn't ask her to get a lawyer, because I just wanted a public defender.
Uh-huh.
Just like,
if I believe you that you didn't call her and ask her to contact this other lawyer, what did you think she wanted the lawyer's name and telephone number for?
Because my husband asked her to get it for her, because he wanted her to get a lawyer to get me out of there because he was missing me, and he said he'd do anything to get me out of
Now,
jail.
let me ask you
But
this
I knew I
question.
couldn't get out. I had to.
Now, let me ask you this question. So you're saying that she called you and asked you for that.
No,
Is
I
that right?
called her, and she asked me, when I was talking to her, she asked me the name.
Well, now you just changed it. You said she called you and asked you.
No, she can't call me in jail.
Of course
I
she
called
can't.
her.
Of course she can't. Did this lawyer, in fact, represent you?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he took the place of the defendant, or I mean the public defender.
So you knew that this lawyer was a retained lawyer, was being paid, correct?
Yeah.
And you didn't say to the lawyer, I can't afford to pay you, correct?
No.
Good. So that takes care of the lawyer's fees. Lawyer's fees you owe her. Now, let's take care of the rest of it, because the rest of it I'm not so sure about.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You have a son who you let live in your house.
Right.
And do absolutely nothing.
Right.
Well, listen to me. Get him out of bed in the morning and tell him he's got to get a job.
And later today,
Why don't you give her her money back?
Pardon me?
What word didn't you understand?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janet Clifton wants her daughter-in-law, Tina Clifton, to pay for attorney fees and child care while Tina was in jail.
What else do you think she should pay you for?
I presume the child care, because I have been taking care of her children for the last year and a half.
Where's your son?
He's just as bad as she is.
Well, listen.
He
madam,
is. He's just as bad as she is.
Listen to me. Do you have legal custody of her children?
No, ma'am. But
All
as
right.
soon as I get through here today, I'm going to go try.
All right. Let me explain this to you. Right now, I assume that in your home, you live there. Is this your husband?
Yes, this is my husband.
You, your husband, your son, who's good for nothing.
Yeah.
And your 2 grandchildren.
Right.
Right? She doesn't live there.
No. Has not been since October.
Fine.
I want to get your attention. I'm sorry, Judge.
What?
I moved out of there because when I got out of recovery, Rodney was still into the same stuff, and then I almost messed up, and so I was like, I had to get out of there because I'm changing my life. I go to NA, I go to counseling. She won't let me see my kids. I have the phone bills of all the times I've tried to call. She wouldn't even let me talk to my husband when I tried to get her.
That's not so.
Miss Clifton, how long have you been involved with drugs?
When I was 19,
And how old are you now?
27.
And she's got 2.
Shh.
I'm changing my life. That's why I moved out of there. I left my marriage.
Miss Clifton, before you get your kids back, once the courts get involved, they're going to screen you for drugs if they're smart on a random basis twice a week.
I've called.
That's what I used to do. And they can also look at me. They can also random test you for drugs by taking a hair follicle test, which will indicate to the court, based upon the drugs that build up in your hair, which aren't released. Did you know about that?
Yeah, I do, because I do that Discovery Zone when you work there.
Oh, okay. Well, you haven't been in inpatient rehab for a while now, is that right?
I've been going to my NA, and I have to go to an outpatient now.
Okay. And when was the last time you were drug tested? Look at me.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Right. And I'm not going to get into whether or not you've had any kind of slippage. You know what I mean by slippage?
I understand. I know what you mean.
Okay. Because I sort of have a nose for that. It's one of the things that you get when you sit in the family court for a very long time. So I don't think that right now you are in a position, as you indicate in your answer, of having custody of your children back.
But
Not yet.
I'm doing everything right. I mean,
No. You and I both know that if you went for a hair follicle test today, it would not be good. Miss Clifton, it would not be perfect, right?
unless if you count back in October or September when I got out of rehab.
Let us assume that I believe that. So after you got out of rehab, you slipped.
Yeah, that's why I
Of
moved
course.
out.
And
What?
she's pregnant
Shut
with another
up.
baby.
Shh. What that? So you're not ready for your kids yet? But I'm leaving you alone for a second. You have a son who's much closer to you. Right?
Right.
Who you let live in your house.
Right.
And do absolutely nothing.
Right.
Well, listen to me. Get him out of bed in the morning and tell him he's got to get a job.
I've done that.
You know? A job,
A job.
or else to get his behind out of your house.
He works
Because
for
then...
He was working for my husband.
They
My
pay him
husband
under
and
the
I have
table
a,
to get AFDC still.
Shh.
my husband and I have our own plumbing business. He was doing a couple hours a day just to make ends meet for the family and to help support the 2 children. Well, now he can't even do that. He will not get up and go to work. He stays up all night long and he sleeps all day. We've had the police out there several times saying that I have to have him evicted from my own home.
Absolutely right. Listen to me.
Because
If
they
he's-
won't do anything.
Listen to me, madam. You want to step up here with your wife, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
If that's the way your son chooses to live, let's be very honest with each other. If that's the way your son chooses to live, and he's an adult, you're not going to be able to do much about that. But if you are responsible people, and I assume that you are responsible people, and you have these 2 little grandbabies that you are interested in, your son isn't staying up all night and sleeping all day because he's an owl. He's staying up all night and sleeping all day because he's using drugs, which means he's using drugs around your grandchildren in your home, which means you got to kick him out.
That's right.
Period. End of discussion.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I want to tell you something that makes me feel really good.
And later today,
He called me not to take photos like he promised he would after I gave him $1,500, but he would call up and ask me if I wanted to go riding on his Harley Davidson.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janet Clifton wants her daughter-in-law, Tina Clifton, to pay for attorney fees and child care while Tina was in jail.
He's using drugs around your grandchildren in your home, which means you got to kick him out. And the way to do that is do not stop at go, do not stop for anything. From court today, you go to the local domestic relations court or family court in your jurisdiction, which is where?
Van Nuys.
Right. And you petition the court for custody or guardianship of your grandchildren. And you do that because your son is an inappropriate caretaker. And right now, your daughter-in-law, despite the fact that she has reasonable intentions, perhaps, for the future, is still, in my judgment, not ready to take care of her children, that they would be at risk.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what you have to do. And then you can sue for support from your son, from your daughter-in-law. If neither one of them are prepared to pay support, the courts, as far as I'm concerned, can throw their keisters in jail. If you are collecting welfare for the grandchildren, are you now?
Well, he is.
They are, but it's hard getting that money to use for the
Right.
children,
So-
you understand?
Oh, I understand exactly what the story is, which means that I am a taxpayer, as is Bird. So as taxpayers, we are writing checks to your son,
Right.
welfare, for his 2 children. And he's taking the welfare money and sticking it up his nose.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I want to tell you something. That makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes me feel
Really
real
good.
too.
So, Mrs. Clifton, I am
have
awarding...
a-
Listen to me. Do I need to hear any more?
Yeah, you just need to hear this one thing. I have a tape here that of Christmas morning that Grandpa and I did Christmas for the
Neither
2
parent.
babies. Neither one of these parents were there.
She doesn't let
She
me go
never
there.
even called. I've got a whole book here on a whole year
Mrs.
of how many
Clifton,
times she
Mrs.
called.
Clifton,
I do
I
too.
understand your frustration, madam.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I understand your frustration. There are really, in this case, 2 real innocents, and these are your 2 little grandboys.
That's right.
You're innocent to the extent that, well, you raised this boy,
Yeah.
all right? You know, and I don't know whether anything had to do with his rearing resulted in the way he turned out, but he clearly turned out not so terrific.
Because they used
But
to be
they-
on drugs. Because they used to be on drugs.
Well, I want to tell you something. I look at both of them now. They don't appear to be on drugs now.
Not for
Yeah,
the
but now
last
that- now
10
that
years,
they're clean,
Tina.
they don't. They'll give me the chance that I'm getting
But
clean.
that's
Just
the reason
listen
we've been
to me.
trying to help these
Mrs.
kids.
Clifton, Mrs. Clifton Jr., if you were a smart lady and not selfish, but thinking only about your children, your two boys have the following option right now. They can stay with their grandparents, or they can go to foster care with strangers. That's their option. Now, I would assume that your boys have been through enough tumult in their lives, through enough uprooting, seen enough in their young lives to last them a lifetime between you and your husband. So right now they are at least in a relatively stable environment as soon as they get the son out of the house. So, if you're really serious about putting your life in order, then you have to be drug-free. Not for 3 months, not for 6 months, maybe for 2 years. Because it's very unfair for you to say, well, I want to take my kids now. I've been clean for 3 months. You've been using drugs for years. And you have relapses periodically. I don't know how often. All I know, are you pregnant now?
Yes, I am.
Well, all I want to tell you is this. If you're pregnant now and you use drugs, your baby's going to be born positive tox for whatever you use. And I don't know if your drug of choice is cocaine or heroin. And I don't know if your 2 other children were born with drugs in their system. Were they?
Here's a letter.
Shut
No,
up. Just a second.
No, because they would have gotten taken away from me.
Just a second. Were either of your 2 sons born with drugs in their system?
They were not born with drugs in their system.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
What'd you do for $1,500?
I haven't done anything at this point.
Perfect. All I'm telling you now is if you continue to use drugs, this baby is going to be born with drugs in its system. So I suggest you start getting your act in order for real.
I am.
Yeah. It's a lot of talk. It's a lot of talk. In any event, you owe your in-laws $2,500 for your attorney's fees. That's it.
Thank you.
I have given you my best advice.
I'll take it.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Back, go to your right, please.
and now the next case.
Parties on Stolba versus Redoni.
30-year-old actress and model Janie Stolba claims 50-year-old theatrical producer Charlie Redoni didn't fulfill a photo shoot after she had paid him $1,500.
You claim that you gave this gentleman $1,500 to act as your agent. You're an
Yes.
actress model.
Yes,
He was supposed to arrange for a, what do they call it, a photo shoot?
a photo shoot.
And he didn't do that.
No, he didn't.
You want your $1,500 back.
Yes, I do.
What'd you do for her for $1,500?
I haven't done anything at this point.
Perfect. That sounds perfect. It's just going to be an easy case. So why don't you give her money back?
Pardon me?
What word didn't you understand? Why don't you give her money back?
Well, it's in the contract, Your Honor, that she's only guaranteed the refund 6 months after I finish the portfolio.
How long have you had her $1,500?
Well, it's been quite a while, but every time I call her, she's not available.
It's been a year. It's been a year, Your Honor.
It's been a year?
Just about a year.
Good.
2 more
Judgment
months.
in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
That was
Back, go to
easy.
your right.
Is Judge Judy.
Parties on Woods versus LaBelle. Step forward, please.
42-year-old purchasing agent Elizabeth Woods is suing her son, 19-year-old Brian LaBelle, for taking money from her bank account.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 447 on the calendar in the matter of Woods versus LaBelle. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mrs. Woods, your complaint is pretty distressing
Yes, it is.
because you claim that your son stole your bank card,
That's correct.
withdrew money.
Yes.
So I must assume that you've had some frustrations with him in the past to even suggest that he would do such a thing to you. And after thinking that he would do such a thing, sue him for the money. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Especially since, according to this, you don't have any direct proof that he took the money.
I have no direct proof, no eyewitness.
Well, why don't you tell me why you believe he took this money first?
I had the card on during the day on Christmas Eve. When I came into my house, I didn't put the card in my wallet. I set it on the counter in my kitchen. I live alone. My parents came over to visit that evening. They were the only other people in that house.
Was your son living with you or was he visiting?
No, he came over to visit while my parents were still there. The area of the kitchen countertop where I put that card is right near my cordless phone. During the visit, Brian took the cordless phone and went to the back of my mobile home. He went into the bathroom, he said, to use the phone because it was too noisy out in the living room. Shortly after the conversation on the phone, Brian put on the new winter coat that my mom and dad and I had bought him for Christmas, and he left. My other daughter, Amy, and her son came over to visit after Brian had left. So the only people in my house all day long, up until the point the card disappeared, were my parents, Brian, and myself.
Well, when did you first notice the card missing?
I had gone into my purse looking for the card a few days later, but...
So that your daughter did come over?
Yes.
Your daughter and who else?
Her son. He's 2.5.
Well, he didn't take the bank cards. But your daughter did come over?
Yes, she did.
And you didn't notice the bank card missing until after your daughter left?
Right. It was several days later.
Nobody else was in and out of your house between Christmas Day and the day that you finally discovered the bank card missing?
No one else.
How much money was withdrawn?
$470.
Now, where was the PIN number?
That took me a little time to figure out how that all happened. But several weeks before Christmas Eve, Brian was over visiting, and my other daughter was there, and the little boy again. And Brian brought up in the conversation, I think when I get my income tax check, I'm going to open a checking account. He started the conversation about PIN numbers. And does the bank assign one, or how do you do that? And my daughter blurted out what hers was in reference to it being the birthday of a relative. And I did the same.
Well, when you realized your bank card was missing, what did you do?
I thought I had left it in the house because my last memory of the bank card was setting it on that counter in the kitchen. So I went to the bank and cashed a check. Several days after that, one of my colleagues had come in to my office from one of our out-of-town locations, and I was going to take her to dinner. My daughter came to my office at my request. I wrote her out a check and said, please run to the bank and cash this check. I need money for dinner tonight. She came back from the bank as white as a ghost and said, Mom, you've got a problem. There's no money in your account. I called the bank to find out what the problem was, and they started to read me off withdrawal, $50 on Christmas Eve, $20 on December 29th.
Do you have a listing of those?
Yes, I do.
Let me take a look at it. And in total, it was $470?
Yes, plus accumulated bank fees.
Brian, how old are you?
19.
How long haven't you been living at home?
I lived there on and off. I've probably been out of there 3 years.
Do you know anything about this bank card?
No, I don't. The first I heard about it was after I had moved out of state. And it wasn't told directly to me, it was told to my sister. She told me about it, and the first thing I heard about it after that was being called, telling me that there was a lawsuit against me.
Is this the other daughter that you were talking about?
No, this is my oldest daughter. She lives in Louisiana.
Would you tell your mother if you took the bank card?
If I had taken it, yes, I would have told her. I didn't take the card. I had no reason to take it. As far as the conversation with the PIN numbers and anything, I don't recall any of that.
Where's your younger daughter?
She's at home. I didn't think her testimony was going to be at all pertinent because she really didn't eyewitness anything.
All right, so my next question, Mrs. Woods, is, now I understand your lawsuit. My question to you is, what do you hope to accomplish from this lawsuit?
I want him to own up to his responsibility. I want him to understand that living off of other people or lying to people or stealing from people is not the way to live your life. And if you've done something wrong, be a man. Stand up for it. Take the responsibility and accept the consequences.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It hurts that I would be accused of stealing the card. I did not take the card. I have no use for your money.
And later today,
she had expressed the desire to have breast implants done. I loved her the way she was. She didn't have to do that for me.
He wanted this as much as I did. Why should I pay him back?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Woods says her son, Brian LaBelle, stole her bank card and tricked her into giving him the PIN code.
Who do you think took her bank card? I had her PIN number.
I really have no idea.
Well, it was you or your sister. That's what it comes down to, right?
Okay, well,
Unless it was your grandparents. I'm going to eliminate the grandparents. But the truth of the matter is, Miss Woods, it could have been either Brian or his sister, because both of them were in your house prior to the time that you found the bank card missing. You choose to believe, for whatever reason, that Brian was the one who took it because of his history, lifestyle, whatever, his need for money.
I also believe that he took it because of his spending shortly before he left for Louisiana, he left for Louisiana on the 3rd of January, which was the exact day that $250 was withdrawn from my checking account. I have been told by Brian's friends, and you know, whether it's admissible or not.
It isn't.
Okay.
That he spent a lot of money.
Not a lot of money, but for someone who isn't working, was evicted from his apartment for non-payment of rent, had his car impounded by the city, you know, $10 is a lot of money.
Brian, you're 19. That's not entirely cooked and ready for adult life, but it seems to me you're living on your own. What do you want to do with yourself?
Did
you graduate from high school?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I had a lot of problems in school.
What kind of problems?
I lost a lot of interest. I mean, it happens sometimes. I had problems with other kids in school. I had problems with teachers in school. And my mistake was I left school. I didn't go back.
So what do you want to do with yourself?
You know, I've been keeping myself straight. Other than this, and, you know, I've worked for what I have. I don't have much.
That's not an answer to my question, Brian. It's really not an answer to my question. You're 19 years old, you have no education, but you're living on your own. Now, you can flounder through life, but you look like an intelligent, and you sound like you're an intelligent young man who's going nowhere. I think probably that's your mother's frustration. You know, that she's just sad because you seem to be without direction. You are without direction, you know. I mean, just living hand to mouth, you know, getting a job, getting a, you know, a meaningless job when you're 19 and sticking with it means that you're going to spend 40 years of your life or more doing something that you're not particularly fond of. You won't make a living. You know, you sort of aimlessly wander through life. What do you want to do?
I like to be able to afford everything I need. I like the line of work I do. When I do...
What kind of work do you do?
I worked as a construction laborer and a laborer in a pallet yard.
But you don't do it all the time?
No.
Why not?
I was laid off from my last job due to transportation problems. I missed a lot of work. I was in the process of buying a car because the car I was driving at the time wasn't reliable. Like I said, I missed a lot of time off of work from that, and they saw it as not needing me around because they wanted somebody who was going to be there all the time. Other than that, you know, I mean, I've held a job pretty well.
Brian, either you took this card or your sister took it. So you think your sister took it?
I know I didn't take it. I don't want to accuse her of taking it because I know there are other people in and out of her house, whether she says there are or not.
People could have taken the card, but nobody else had the PIN number, which would have given them access to the money.
I didn't have the PIN number either.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I still love you. I want you to get your act together. You can't go through life like this.
And later today...
After this motorcycle rally, she had expressed the desire to have breast implants done because there's a lot of skin that's shown up there in Sturgis.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Woods says her son, Brian LaBelle, stole her bank card and tricked her into giving him the PIN code.
Mrs. Woods, as I said to you when we started, It's a sad situation when a parent brings a child to court, sues a child, especially a 19-year-old child, because they're hardly cooked. I mean, whatever frustrations you've had with him, and I assume, even based upon what he says, you've had some frustrations with him for a long time. But this is still a court, and a court has to deal with evidence and proof. Right now, we have a situation where your credit card was missing, but there were at least 4 people who were in your home who had access to that card when you left it on the kitchen counter. You had your parents, you had Brian, and you had your younger daughter. And but for the fact that you perhaps spent a couple of dollars during the Christmas holiday, there really is no proof that Brian, as opposed to the other people who had access to that card and access to your home, were the ones who took it. So a court can't operate under supposition. That is unfair. You understand that? So I am forced to dismiss your lawsuit against your son. Ryan, I don't know whether you took this card or not. There is insufficient proof that you did. But you look like a nice young person. And you certainly are intelligent. I don't think that you are optimally using all the gifts that God gave you. Do you?
No.
So you better start, because, as I said to you before, life is not a dress rehearsal. You only go around once. Okay? That's all. Thank you.
Others are excused. You may step out. Back, go to your right.
I am very disappointed. I still love my son very much.
It hurts that I would be accused of stealing the card. I did not take the card. I have no use for your money. If this is the way that you feel about me, then fine, that be it.
I still love you. I want you to get your act together. You can't go through life like this. You got away with it this time, but the next time you might not be so lucky.
There was nothing to get away with.
And now the next case.
Parties on Donahue versus Pratt. Step forward, please.
38-year-old police officer Mark Donahue is suing his ex-girlfriend, exotic dancer Cynthia Pratt, 30, for not repaying a loan for her breast implants.
Mr. Donahue, according to your complaint, sir, you made a loan to the defendant in order for her to have breast augmentation surgery. You gave her $2,350.
Yes, Your Honor.
You broke up, she won't pay you back.
That's correct.
Okay, so why don't you tell me how this loan came about, sir?
Well, Cindy and I started dating in January 1996 and up until November 1997. In August of 1996, we went to Sturgis, South Dakota. It's a motorcycle rally annual event that happens there. And after this motorcycle rally, she had expressed the desire to have breast implants done because there's a lot of skin that's shown up there in Sturgis.
We talked about it before.
So we had discussed it up until, well, the beginning of 1997. She decided that she was going to go ahead and go through with it, and she had told me that she was not going to go to Sturgis in 1997, that the following August, if she didn't have it done. She made an appointment for the surgery. The date was set. She was working at the time, and she had the funding arranged. She was working for a mortgage company and had several loans that she was going to close, so she had the funding arranged for it. And I had been telling her all along that, you know, don't do this for me, do it for yourself. If, you know, I loved her the way she was. So the day of the surgery came, and she had not had the funding because her loans had fallen through that she was going to close. But we had talked about me loaning her the money, and that I would only be able to loan her half the money, and she would be able to provide the other half. So we went to my credit union, and I withdrew $2,350 to make up for the in addition to the $1,650 that she had to make.
So she had enough?
$4,000, yes.
Okay.
And so after I withdrew the checks, I had her sign a promissory note that was notarized at the credit union.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Surgery was done. You broke up several months later.
Yes.
Were any payments made whatsoever within the 2 months that this promissory note indicates the balance was to be fully paid?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
Yes, there was.
She had made reference that periodically she would say, well, I need to pay you back. I know I owe you that money, but I don't have it. But I never saw a dime of it. I've not seen one cent
Mark,
of
yes,
that
you
money.
did.
Shh, Miss Pratt, don't talk to him. Are you finished now, sir?
Yes.
Good. I'll hear you.
My very first check that I had got with my first loan that closed, I did sign it over.
Don't go talk to him.
I signed it over to him.
And how much was that for?
I don't even remember. It was a long time ago. I don't even remember.
Your Honor,
It
she
was-
never...
Shh. You would know if you gave him any money. This wasn't so long ago. It was less than a year ago.
Correct, but I did sign over a check to him. I believe it was only a couple $100s. I really don't remember how much the amount was.
All right, so you, assuming that that's true, assuming that you got a check and you signed it over to him for a couple of $100. This note says that it's to be paid within 2 months. Now, I read your answer. I don't know what your defense is. You want to tell me what your defense is?
Mark knew that I wasn't going to be able to pay him back. After my job had changed and my commission had turned into a salary, he knew that I couldn't afford it. I was stressing on by just making ends meet. And I told Mark, I said, you know, I'm never going to be able to pay you back. And he said, I know. And it never came up again. We never discussed it. Nothing. It was never brought up again of me paying him back. So I just assumed that I didn't need to pay him back. Why should I pay him back? He knew that he wanted this as much as I did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have to decide what your theory of defense is, Miss Pratt. Okay? Theory of defense. Does that ring a note to you?
Mm-hmm.
Either you owed him the money because you agreed that it was a loan, or you don't owe him the money because he wanted you to have the surgery as much as you did, and it was a gift. Now, which is your theory of defense?
I'd say it was a gift. I never asked for the money.
Okay, that's your theory. So
Yes,
your
I
theory
never-
of defense, just want to understand this. And Bird wants to understand this.
I do.
Your theory of defense is that it's a gift. Is that right?
Yeah.
You picked the wrong one. Because if your theory of defense is, madam, that it's a gift, then you don't sign a promissory note. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,350. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excuse you, may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Hodgman versus Nelson. Step forward, please.
46-year-old teacher Leslie Machman is suing her daughter's best friend, Melissa Nelson, for back rent and an airline ticket. Melissa is countersuing for damages to her car, bed, and cowboy hat.
Order. All rise. Quiet, please. Your Honor, this is case number 444 on the calendar in the matter of Hodgman versus Nelson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Miss Hodgman, according to these papers, you've known the defendant since she was in kindergarten. She was a friend of your daughter's.
That's correct.
Daughter's name is Jennifer.
Yes.
See, I read papers. And there came a time when you decided that you were going to let her rent a rental house that you had, along with your daughter and a third roommate whose name is Ben. Do we have a Ben here?
No.
So the three of them are going to live in this rental property that you had.
Yes.
And you moved in
Yes.
with Jennifer and Ben.
Correct.
But your daughter Jennifer was a slob.
Yep. Sure was. Still is.
Was and is. And so you evicted her. Told her, go find someplace else to live with your cats.
Or clean up.
Or clean up. Good for you. How many cats did she have?
3, I think.
And 2 dogs. And 2 ferrets.
Anyways, that left you and Ben in the house.
Correct.
And there were some problems, but whatever the problems were, you say that she owes you some rent.
Yes.
Because you moved out. Right?
Well, she evicted me.
Because you weren't paying the rent.
Correct.
And in addition, you were all supposed to go on some sort of a trip, skiing trip. And you purchased airline tickets, and you would promise to pay her if she bought you a ticket. You were going as a family?
Right.
So you purchased a ticket, and she didn't go.
Right.
Well, that's not exactly how it happened.
I understand that.
Okay.
So that's what we have. We have the rent, and we have this airline ticket. How much in rent do you say she owes you?
$639. That's subtracting what she paid.
Okay, so she owes you $631 in rent. And how much was this airline ticket?
$262.
And you couldn't get the money back?
No, it's a non-refundable ticket, but it's a reusable ticket.
Oh, do you have the ticket?
I have the, this is from, it's an e-ticket from United Airlines.
Okay, that's an electronic ticket.
Yeah, so she can use the ticket some other time.
All right, let's first, she acknowledges that she owes you some rent, which is why she was evicted, but I want to hear about this airline ticket.
We go to Vail every year as a family, and my daughter Jennifer was going along with my son and another friend of ours. And so when Melissa was moving in latter part of August and September, you know, Jennifer says, well, gee, can Melissa go too? Because we've been skiing for the last 10 years, 15 years, whatever, together. And so I said, sure, that's great. Well, Melissa had just started a new job, and she says, well, yeah, I want to go, and I'll pay for it, but I can't pay for it right now. I said, okay. I mean, I've known her since she was 5 years old, so I have no reason to believe that she wouldn't follow through and pay what she said she would. So I agreed to go ahead and get the ticket. That way she could fly on the same plane with us and everything. Well, when the controversy happened with my daughter moving out, then there was this, I'm going to go, I'm not going to go, then Melissa, I'm going to go, I'm not going to go, back and forth between the girls. Between the girls. And I'm not sure at this point in time who finally made who caused the both of them not to go, because it was a controversy between Jennifer wasn't going to go, she was mad at me. Then she said, yeah, I will go, but then Melissa said she'd already said she was going to work, and back and forth. And I told Melissa, I said, the bottom line is the ticket is yours in your name, and you can use it again some other time. It's not refundable, but it's a reusable ticket. And she still owed me the money for it. I mean, I can't use it. It's not in my name.
What she's saying is not far from what you say in your answer, well, Melissa. You keep shaking your head no. You agreed to go on the trip.
Yes, I did.
And then your friend Jennifer, her daughter Jennifer,
right,
was annoyed with her mother because her mother said, get your cats and your ferrets and your dogs out of the house because you're making my house a pig pen. And so she's mad at her mother.
Right.
She says, then I'm not going on the trip with you.
Correct. Well, when she said that, then I had taken a week off work. I wasn't going to take a week off work, so I then told my boss that I could, in fact, work and to please put me back on the schedule. Well, then Jennifer changed her mind, and I couldn't then go to my boss and say, oh, by the way, now I've changed my mind, so can you take me off the schedule again? And Leslie had told me, don't worry about it. I know it's Jennifer's fault that you can't go. I wasn't going to go if Jennifer wasn't going to go. And then when I couldn't go, Jennifer had then changed her mind and said she wanted to go. But then when I wasn't going, Jennifer wasn't going to go.
Melissa, who's the innocent? Who's the innocent person?
As far as what, ma'am?
As far as this whole scenario. You wanted to go on a trip with them. You said, please pay for the ticket because I want to go, but I can't pay for it right now. Is that what you told her?
Originally, yes.
Yeah. So she bought the ticket. She's out the money for this ticket, $262. Then you and your friend and everybody else got annoyed, right? Your friend got annoyed. She wasn't going to go. You weren't going to go. There's only one innocent person. That's her. She's out $262.
It wasn't my fault that they got into a dispute and Jennifer then changed her mind. Was I going to go and ski by myself?
Why not?
Would you want to go and ski by yourself?
Listen, let me explain something to you. I don't go on top of a mountain where it's 4 degrees below zero, where I'm petrified to get to the bottom of that mountain, when I could be at the bottom of the mountain, sitting in a lodge, drinking a large grog. So I don't go on top of a mountain. I wouldn't ski by myself, and I wouldn't ski with the whole Coxie Army. That doesn't mean that you can't go skiing by yourself. You can go skiing by yourself. You never know who you'll meet if you go skiing. Right?
Ooh.
Lots of nice people go skiing.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
But look at the brim. That's what the main concern is here. It's completely lost its shape.
You better get a life, madam.
And later today,
You were hitting him in the head with the basketball, so he can either react or he can walk away. He chose to react.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Leslie Machman wants her daughter's best friend, Melissa Nelson, to pay back rent and the cost of an airline ticket. Melissa wants damages for her car, bed, and cowboy hat.
She was nice enough to buy your ticket. You owe her for the ticket. Now, I'm going to get to your counterclaim. You're counterclaiming because you say she damaged a lot of your property.
Correct.
So you tell me about the damage to your property.
Well, in the whole moving process, she broke into my bedroom and took it upon herself to pack all of my things when I was at work. Called me, left a message on my voicemail saying, "It's trash day today and the scavengers are out. I suggest you come and pick up your things off the driveway." When she was moving all of my things out of my room, she crushed my cowboy hat and ruined this one as well. I have receipts for both of those.
What do you mean she crushed it?
Well, I keep them, I love my cowboy hats, okay? I keep them in these sweater boxes upside down like they're supposed to so they don't lose their shape. She took the sweater thing out of my closet and put it in a box and crushed them. I can't wear that, nor can I wear this. It's got crease. People would laugh at me if I put this thing on and wore it. They would laugh at me.
Bird, would you get me the black hat,
Would
please?
you? I mean...
Would you get me the black hat, please?
That's... And this one, too.
See that one?
This one has creases all over it.
Oh, God.
And it's completely lost its shape.
You better go to the doctor. It's got creases all over it. Just a second.
Doing a good job, dude.
What?
Judge. Doing a good job.
What?
But look at the brim. That's what the main concern is here.
Oh,
it's completely lost its shape.
You better get a life, madam. Just a second. Bird, would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Give her back the hat.
Sure.
Thank you.
And then also she was painting the house. Her and her son were painting the house. And in the process of painting the house, the wind apparently was blowing a little hard that day and blew overspray all over my car, all over my brand new car that I just got a couple of months ago. So now I have little white specks of paint all over my car. And I took it to find out how much that would be. So
Does the car thing have any ring of truth to it?
This is the first I've heard about it today. I didn't know anything about it until today. This or the cowboy hats.
I just fixed the cowboy hats.
Ma'am, no, seriously? This is a $189 hat. This is not fixed at all. I cannot wear this hat.
Just a second. Who paid $189 for it?
I paid $189, and I have a receipt for that.
Just a second. How dare you pay $189 for a hat and not pay her rent?
I've had this
Just
hat.
a second. How dare you pay $189 for a hat and not give her the money that you owed her for
The
rent?
hat was purchased long before I ever even moved into the house. I've had this hat for a long time.
How long have you had the hat?
I can tell you exactly. I have a receipt.
Yes.
2397.
How long did you live in the house?
4 months, 5 months, maybe.
August. She moved in the latter part of August into my house and then moved down the street.
I lived in her house before I moved into the dungeon because we had to get the old roommates out.
When you said you lived in her house, you had a room in her house?
Yes.
Did you pay rent?
No.
How long did you live there?
A couple of weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
How long did you
About
live?
3 weeks.
And she just let you come there because she's fond of you?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
She was out of town. She was on a cruise.
What difference does that make?
Oh,
It's her house.
Okay.
$631 for rent and $262 for the ticket. Just bought yourself an electronic ticket. $893 is what you owe her. Is that right, Bert?
That's absolutely right, Judge.
Very good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $893. Your counterclaim is dismissed. It's nonsense.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's very sad that I mean, she's like a second mom to me. It's very sad that it even came to this.
I feel really bad about this because she is like a second daughter to me, and she pushed me to a point where I had to move her out of the house because I had to rent the house to somebody else.
My mother would never even think to do this to her daughter.
By the way, I didn't know anything about the hats. I've never seen them before.
And now the next case.
Parties on Bolo Talo versus Delalo. Step forward, please.
Chuchi Bolotalo says her 10-year-old son, Ricardo, was kicked by Marjorie Delalo's son, 14-year-old Jacob, after Ricardo hit him in the head with a basketball.
You're 9?
10.
10? You're 13?
14.
14 now. So this happened about a year ago?
Yes.
Your families were out at an amusement park, according to the papers that I have. Some sort of an amusement park?
Indoor playground.
Now, tell me your name.
JR.
JR, you were playing basketball. Were you playing with this young man?
Yes.
What's your first name?
Jacob.
Now, when you were playing basketball, you were sort of fooling around with Jacob, right?
Yes.
And what were you doing with the basketball in Jacob's head?
When I threw it, and then he was gonna get a ball, and then it accidentally hit his face.
Well, JR, did you hit him in the head a couple of times with the basketball?
Only once.
How many times did he hit you in the head with the basketball?
About 4 or 5 times.
And what did you do after he hit you 4 or 5 times with the basketball?
Well, I told him the first time to stop, and after the last time, I kicked him in the stomach.
And then did he stop hitting you in the head?
Yes.
Had you ever done anything like that before?
No.
Why didn't you just walk away from him?
Well, I was kind of... It was right at the moment. I just didn't think about it.
So you just kicked him?
Yeah.
He's a little guy, right?
Right.
Not a particularly smart thing to do.
Right.
Now, JR, you know how important it is to tell the truth here in court?
Yes.
And I don't care what you told your mother before. I don't care what you told her before. You have to tell the truth here. You understand?
Yes.
Were you fooling around when you were hitting him in the head with the basketball?
Yes.
Did he tell you to stop?
No.
Did he tell you to cut it out?
Yes.
And you did it again?
Only did it once.
No. That's not true. That's what you told your mother. But that's not true. You were playing around. You hit him a couple of times in the head with the basketball. And it wasn't an accident.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I don't think that she is responsible for
I don't care what you think. I'm the one who has to make a determination as to what's fair.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chuchi Bolota'alo claims her 10-year-old son, Ricardo, was kicked by Marjorie DeLallo's son, 14-year-old Jacob.
Now, after he kicked you, did it hurt?
Yes.
So what did you do?
Well, I was in the ground and I was crying, and then he told his mom, and then his mom came, and the jungle came, and then the jungle called the hospital. The hospital came, picked me up. Now I went to the hospital, and then I started feeling better.
Did you feel better as soon as you got to the hospital?
Well, not that much.
What do you mean, not that much?
When I was on the on the car, I was feeling a little bit better.
When you were in the ambulance?
Yes.
You were feeling better. Did you know each other from before?
Yes.
Had you been friends?
Yes.
Now, this lawsuit is about, who are you?
I'm Priscilla, her mother, and I was there when JR was hurt, and I was by his side, and he wanted, when the ambulance came and put him on a gurney, he wanted to get off the gurney then, and he said he was fine, and he did not want to go to the hospital then.
Yeah, but it's a good idea, because you never can tell with kids. You know, kids can say, I feel fine, I want to go play, and they can have some internal damage that you can't see. So you don't take the word of a 9, 10-year-old that they feel fine, they want to go out back and play. You agree with that, right?
That's what the paramedic said also.
That he should go and be checked out.
That he should go.
Absolutely.
They were
So that's the right thing to do. There's only one issue in this case. You're suing them over the ambulance bill, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you think that they should pay the whole thing?
No, I asked her if she can pay the half.
Well, I think that that's very fair.
Mm-hmm. Because accident happen anytime, especially with those things.
Well, it's an accident, and aside from the fact that your son was fooling around with this basketball, hit him a couple of times in the head with it, he was acting like a fool. He's much bigger. He should not have kicked him, right?
Right.
So you think you're responsible for half the bill?
Well, I told her that I would pay for part of it because I felt that, you know, being as what happened, that I could pay for part, but, you know, since JR started the whole thing, I didn't think I was responsible for the entire bill.
Well, I don't think you're responsible for the entire bill either, but I think you're responsible for half. What was the whole bill for the ambulance?
$768.80.
Do it for me. $768.
I got $384, Judge.
You have something important to say?
Yes. I don't think that she's responsible for the whole
I don't care what
bill.
you think.
Well,
What you think is unimportant. I'm the one. I'm the one who has to make a determination as to what's fair.
But we all objected to him going too. We offered to take him in the car to the hospital.
What does that have to do with anything? Madam, listen to me. I mean, I don't know where you're coming from. The play area has a responsibility. Once the play area is advised that a child has been injured while on their grounds, they have to take every step that's reasonably prudent to ensure that the child isn't injured, not putting him in your car. Sit down.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Look, it's a good lesson for you. He's little, you can walk away. Sometimes it's better off to walk away from a situation than to react to it. Jacob, do you understand?
Yeah.
And I think probably if you had it to reflect on, since you look like a nice young man, you would have just walked away and say, listen, he's a little kid and I'm not going to get involved, right? And you can't always rely on the fact that you're a little guy, right? And that you can fool around with somebody else and they're not going to retaliate. Do you understand?
Yes.
You know, you were hitting him in the head with the basketball. So he can either react or he can walk away. He chose to react. It's not the smart thing to do, and each of you has to be responsible for it. So I'm giving you half of the amount of the ambulance that took your son to the hospital, which is $384. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Judy.
Parties on Harkness versus Cutler. Step forward, please.
26-year-old chef John Harkness is suing his former best friend, 27-year-old printer Stephen Cutler, for a $3,000 loan. Stephen says John promised him the money after he won a huge settlement.
Order. All rise. Thank you. Judge, this is number 388 on the calendar in the matter of Harkness versus Cutler. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated, sir. Proceed, please.
Former friends.
Correct.
Fight over money.
Not correct.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's why we're here, sir, because this is a dispute over money.
Correct.
According to you, Mr. Harkness, you lent Mr. Cutler $3,000.
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Cutler says it was a gift.
Correct.
So why don't you tell me, sir, how did this loan come about?
Well, in the beginning of 1995, Stephen was living in a house. He was renting a room. He couldn't live at home. His father, they kicked him out of the house, and he couldn't live at home. He had nowhere else to go, and he was also getting kicked out of this new apartment that he had gone into. And he came to me and said, you know, John, can you give me $5,000? I said, Stephen, you know, $5,000 is a lot of money. You know what I mean? I really can't give you $5,000. I said,
What kind of work do you do that you had
well,
thousands of dollars?
Unfortunately, when I was younger, I had cancer, and I had gotten a settlement for it. And so when
How did you get a settlement for having cancer?
Well, because I was misdiagnosed for not having it. And then I did have it, so it was a big, drawn-out thing. When I was 19, I got a settlement and put it away and invested it for my children.
How much did you get?
It was about $500,000. So
and Mr. Cutler, you knew that he was getting a settlement?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So Stephen came to me, like I said, asked me if I can give him $5,000. He didn't say lend. And I said, Stephen, I can't give you $5,000. I can let you borrow $3,000. He said, oh, come on, you can give me $5,000. You got the money. I said, Stephen, it's not about if I have the money. I can't afford it. You know, I was going to school. I put myself through college. And that was even before I got the settlement. So I've been working hard my whole life to save my own money.
He said, come on, please, 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 you know. I said, all right, listen, I can let you borrow $3,000, but you got to pay me back. He said, well, I can't pay you back right away. I said, Stephen, I know you don't have money. If it takes you a year to pay me back, just pay me, you know, in drips and drabs, whatever you can, you know. So I gave him the money. He was so happy, you know. He said, thank you. My witness was present.
What did you write him a check?
I wrote him a check, and when I went to write him the check out, he said, don't write the check out to me, write it out to my father, because I don't have enough money in my account to cover it. Well, I said, that, you know, seems pretty sensible. He was asking me for the money, so obviously he didn't have money to cover it. And he said, I need the money right away because I have to put it down on a new apartment. So I said, no problem. I wrote the check out to his father so his father could cash it. After I gave him the money, I saw him less and less over the next 6 months. Come that October, I went back to college to get my bachelor's degree. So, and then I saw Stephen less even more. So I called Stephen up. Hey, Steve, I haven't talked to you in so long. How you been? What's going on? This and that. We talked like old buddies, like nothing had ever happened. Soon as I mentioned the money. What money? I said, Stephen, come on. You know, we grew up together. What do you mean, what money? You know? He said, you said that was a gift. I said, Stephen, come on. Who's going to give somebody $3,000? I was like, I haven't even given anybody in my own family $3,000, let alone a good friend. I said, I can let you, I said, I'll let you borrow it. Which said, that's not what you told me, and hung up the phone.
Okay. Stop. Mr. Cutler, did you need money?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
You were working in 1995?
Yes, I was.
What kind of work were you doing?
Working in a soda distribution company.
Doing what?
Forklift work and just distribution, loading trucks up.
Okay. Were you evicted from residences at that time?
No, I wasn't.
Your Honor,
well, tell me.
Your Honor, that's a lie.
Just a second. We let you speak. Get back in a second. You don't deny that he transferred, I'm not going to say gave, loaned, or whatever. He transferred $3,000 to you for your benefit.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Now, you tell me how that came about, sir.
We were longtime friends. We grew up together in the same neighborhood. And I knew John was getting a settlement. And he said to me, he said, Steve, he said, if I ever get a large settlement, he says, I'm going to take care of you and George Altz because you guys have been my best friends for so many years. Now, that's what he said to me. He said, you guys are going to get $5,000 each and a trip to Europe, he said to me. He said, I'm going to take you to Europe on me. That's what he told me.
I'm going to take you to Europe.
To Europe, yes, on him.
Just
so we were going to go backpacking, hiking.
So did you ever do that?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
So tell me about the $3,000.
So as time went on, we were in the basement and together, and he said, Steve, he said, remember when I told you I was going to give you $5,000? I said, yes. He said, well, I can't afford to give you $5,000. He said, I spent a lot of money. He said, but I could afford to give you $3,000.
You mean, and that just came out of the blue?
Yes.
Just to hanging out in the basement?
Yeah, yes.
Did you say to him, what happened to the backpacking that we were going to do, the traveling
no,
we were going to do?
I never brought up Europe. I wasn't going to be greedy. I figured whatever, you know, he was going to give me, he was going to give me.
So it just came out of the blue?
To be honest with you, it's been a few years. I don't remember the exact conversation, how it was brought up.
I do.
To be honest with you.
Go ahead.
It never took place in my basement.
Yes, it did.
When he was living in the house and he was getting kicked out, that's when the money transpired, actually. Mr. Altz was present.
He was present?
Step up here, sir.
Yes, he was.
Your Honor,
Step up here,
he's
sir.
lying, Your Honor.
Just a second. That's my strong suit, sir, to tell who's lying. What makes sense? Common sense. Yes.
How you doing?
Your name is... I'm
George
doing
Altz.
fine. How are you doing?
Good.
Pleased to hear that. Your name is?
George Altz. Basically, me and Steve talked about getting a loan from John. Actually, it wasn't a loan. We wanted to receive $5,000. Stephen ended up asking him. I just kind of stayed off to the side. A short time after, Steve came back and said, he's not going to loan us $5,000. He'll let us borrow $3,000.
Why were you looking to borrow money?
Because I was in debt at the time, and I had a lot of bills. So did Stephen. So Stephen said, you know, I asked him, he would loan me $3,000. I said, I don't want a loan. If he's going to give me $3,000, I'll take the $3,000. I don't want another loan to get out of debt, to get back in debt with a friend. So I said, it's not even worth it.
Why would you think that your friend, Mr. Harkness, would give you money?
Like, we grew up together. I would. You got to understand our circumstances. You know, we've been through a lot since little kids. I thought maybe we can get some money from him as a friend.
Sure, step up here. Who are you?
My name's Joseph Smeltzer. I know all three of these men here for well over 15 years. When John received his lawsuit, for years, well before he received it, Steve and George had been his best friend, lifelong best friends. John had bragged countless times, and specifically, that he was going to take care of them financially and give them a gift.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Just a second. Were you present, sir, when you heard any discussion about $5,000 and a trip
Yes,
to
I
Europe?
was, many times. He made a lot of promises to a lot of people, not just Steve and George. I mean, he bragged that he was going to take care of a lot of people in many different ways.
Shh.
And
Just a minute. A lot of people do that.
Yes, they do.
A lot of
Absolutely
people
they
do that.
But you got to consider the fact when best friends of this nature, they're considered like family. They grew up all their lives. It's more like family. It's like if I came into $1 million tomorrow, I'd have no problem giving Steve $5,000.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's a bitter man because I couldn't be friends with him no more because he had a swelled head and I couldn't deal with him no more.
And later today,
You're going to give a box of ashes to your children and say, here, hold your grandmother?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Harkness wants his former best friend, Stephen Cutler, to give him back the $3,000 he loaned him. Stephen claims the money was a gift.
What you, Mr. Cutler, is suing for is on a contract. You say that there was a contract, and your contract with him was that he was going to give you a gift, right?
Correct.
A contract requires, in the law, something called consideration. There has to be something that you give to him and something that he gives to you in order for it to be enforceable. Otherwise, it's just puffing. I'm going to take care of all of my friends. Now, there's a certain amount of common sense that suggests to me that you are having certain problems in 1995.
Your
That
Honor,
has a ring of truth to it, sir.
Your Honor, $3,000 wasn't going to make any difference in my life at that time.
He was getting kicked out of the
whatsoever.
Just a second.
Whatsoever, Your Honor.
Just a second. Then why, Mr. Cutler, would you think, sir, that after several years, because this transaction took place several years ago, that Mr. Harkness would at this point sue you for the $3,000?
Because he's a bitter man, Your Honor.
Just a second.
Can I,
why do you think he's a bitter man?
He's a bitter man because I was friends with him for a year after he gave me the $3,000. After that, I couldn't be friends with him no more because he had a swelled head and I couldn't deal with him no more. And a lot of people the same way. So
don't tell me about a lot of other people. What
two
about
years
you?
later, he calls me up on the phone and said, Steve, he says, the money that I gave you, I want it back. I said, John, you gave it to me as a gift. He said, doesn't matter. We don't speak no more. He says, I want the money back.
Never
I said, well, you're not going to receive the money.
Happened.
You gave it to me as a gift.
Nope.
He said, well, I'll see you in court. And I said, I'll see you in
Your
court
Honor?
then.
Just a second. I'm going to resolve this in a minute. Did he make the check payable to your father?
Yes, he did. He told me, Your Honor, the reason why he made it out to my father was he told me, he goes, I don't want you spending it all in one place. He goes, I feel if your father is involved with it, he goes, your father will look out for the money better than you will. And that's why he wrote my check to my father.
Oh, no. You see, a very important thing for you to remember, sir, is that common sense is what's supposed to prevail in a court. If he were giving you money outright, he would have given you the check made out to you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you didn't need the money immediately, you could have opened up a bank account, put that check in the bank account, and waited for the check to clear. The fact that he made the check out to your father suggests to me that you needed the money immediately.
Yes.
And thank you for agreeing with me.
Sorry.
I also think, Mr. Cutler, that of all of his friends, I haven't heard of anybody else that just took money from him. Right? You haven't told me about anybody else that just took money.
I'm the only one here, Your Honor.
I
mean,
there were other people.
There were other people.
No, there wasn't.
I could have brought many witnesses here, but...
Name one.
Just a second.
Why'd you bring him?
Hey!
Sorry.
Sit down now. Mr. Harkness, I am satisfied based upon primarily the one tangible thing that we know, which is that you both agree on, that you made the check payable to his father, and that suggests to me that there was an immediate need that he had for the funds,
Yes,
which
Your Honor.
supports your story that he needed the funds immediately for a new apartment, which is totally different from what he's saying is that you were in the basement of your building making out a check and you said, I hear I'm going to give you some money.
No, never happened.
Well, I know you say it never happened. So I am giving you a judgment, sir, in the amount of $3,000, which is the amount of the loan. Thank you,
Your
that's
Honor.
all.
Parties excused. You may step out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Out this way, gentlemen. This way. Out the back, go to your right.
A freak in disguise, bro.
See, that's all he can say.
A freak in
That's
disguise.
all he
Look
can
at you.
say.
Rip off that suit and
That's all he
the
can
white
say.
trash.
White trash with a
Mama's a freak,
with
his
a
dad's a
bachelor's degree.
freak, his whole family's a
Bachelor's degree.
freak.
Ask him what degree he has. Ask him how many degrees he has. Nothing. I'm white trash.
And now the next case.
Parties on Gendron versus Gendron. Step forward, please.
42-year-old Suzanne Gendron wants her former sister-in-law, Teresa Gendron, to return the ashes of her mother.
Very strange case. And very old. Your mother died 21 years ago, according to your complaint.
Correct.
How old was she when she died?
She was 54.
And according to your complaint, your former sister-in-law, that's you, has her ashes.
Correct.
And she's had them for 21 years.
Yes.
You want them back?
Yes, Your Honor.
First, what took you 21 years?
I have been asking her since my children were born. We had an agreement that if and when I had children, because I was not married when my mom passed on, if and when I had children, that she would give the ashes to me to watch over my children. And
when did you make this agreement?
This was the year after my mother died, and we had agreed to that. And I began asking her for them when my daughter was born. My daughter, Sarah Louise, she's named after my mom. And I have not been successful in getting them from her since then. And we need her very much.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't know what it's like growing up in a house
Well,
full of men
you know, it's
with
not
no
like
woman's
Susan.
touch.
Susan, I'm
No
sorry.
one-
What woman's touch are you going to get from an urn or an ash?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 42-year-old Suzanne Gendron wants her former sister-in-law, Teresa Gendron, to return the ashes of her mother.
Hello.
How are you?
So?
I never agreed to give her back the ashes when her children were born. My mother-in-law confided in me that when she passed away, she wanted to be cremated, and she wanted her ashes thrown where her father used to dock his boat in Long Branch. I never knew exactly where this was, so I didn't want to just take her and just put her ashes anywhere. So the reason that I still have the ashes is because to this day I don't know exactly where she wanted her ashes thrown. She asked me to do this. I took it seriously, and that's why I still have the ashes. I never agreed to give you back the ashes.
Were you close to your mother before she died?
Yes, I was very close.
And did you hear her say, was she ill before she died?
No.
She was not. So this
No, she
was,
was
her
not.
death was sudden?
Very sudden. She had a heart attack.
When did she tell you that she wanted to be cremated?
She lived in Plainfield, and when she was in Plainfield, we spent a lot of time together. Suzanne didn't live in Plainfield. Suzanne lived in Montreal. And on one of our outings or trips to the shore, she told me that this is what she wanted because that's where she felt most peaceful.
That's
Now,
right.
Is that right?
Yes, and I have explained to my sister-in-law that I am prepared and I insist that we fulfill my mother's last wish. My Aunt Beth and my brother went last summer together to the exact spot where my mom wants her ashes scattered, and it was always in the agreement that I would have my mother for a short time and then we would all go to that spot. We know exactly where it is.
Great. Well,
And
then
we
this is a
want-
very easy lawsuit to
We want
resolve.
to fulfill my mother's last wish.
And so do you.
And so do I.
Good. And when do you intend to do that?
Well, I was unaware that the aunt and my ex-husband knew or even went to this spot.
Well,
what
but
I
then-
want to know is why they didn't include me and bring me with them so that we could have fulfilled my mother-in-law's wishes a year ago.
Absolutely. That's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
That's
I never
going to
said I
happen.
would.
When do you want it to happen is the question.
On her 25th, on the anniversary, the 25th anniversary of her death, which will be in 3 years.
No. Why would you want to wait another 3 years?
Because I don't have very long to live. I've been diagnosed with 2 different terminal illnesses. And I would like, for my children and for myself, I have some very difficult battles to fight. And I need my mother's strength. And I don't think that after 21 years, I don't think that 2 years or 2.5 years is going to hurt my mom that much. I think she'll enjoy being with me her daughter and her grandchildren.
Ms. Gendron, what you say is very sad, but you can't give yourself, nobody can predict the moment that an illness that you have, even if it's a terminal one, is going to cause you to leave this earth. And I wouldn't like you to live under that kind of an onus anyway. I mean, that's a terrible thing. Right now, your mother, and you acknowledge that, had a dying wish. And her wish was that she be cremated, which she was, and that she wanted to rest peacefully, having her ashes dispersed in a certain way.
Yes.
So you have to do that.
Yes.
And you have to do that now. It's been all too long delayed.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What is clear to me is that every person has the right to dictate what happens to them at the time of their death. Your mother did that.
Yes, she
It's
did.
been delayed for 21 years. It should not be delayed at all. I will make an order, and you tell me at what point you're going to be ready to go to New Jersey. That's where she wanted to be scattered. So you tell me when, and I will fix a time frame, a week or a 2-week period.
Spring.
In the spring? Step up here. Yes. April?
Good.
April.
How about May? May 15th. That's my daughter's birthday. She's named after my mother.
Is that a good date?
That's a good date.
May 15th?
Yes.
Fine. That on or before May 15th, the two of you, together with any of the siblings that want to accompany you, will finally fulfill your mother's last wish. Case is resolved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Judy. Parties on Dixon versus Dixon. Step forward, please.
After co-signing for a loan, David and Annette Dixon want David's son, 30-year-old Michael Dixon, to pay them back for his repossessed truck. Michael says the debt was paid.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. Now, this is case number 440 on the calendar in the matter of Dixon versus Dixon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Dixon, this is your son.
Yes, it is.
And some time ago, according to your complaint, he wanted to buy a truck.
That's correct.
Couldn't get credit on his own,
That's right.
so you co-signed for the truck.
Yes, I did.
How old were you at the time, sir?
That would make me 19.
And you're 30 now?
Yes, I am.
And how long did you have this truck?
Roughly 2.5 years.
And then it got repossessed
That's correct.
because you stopped making.
Payments. Yes.
And then you were about 20 years old, so everything was terrific. And your father says that the credit company came after him.
That's correct, yes. They came after me, and they repossessed it, and they auctioned it off, and the balance was due on it was $4,400. And they were going to come after me and take me to court if I didn't start making payments. So I agreed to start making the payments of $200 a month, and I told my boy that this is going to have to be taken care of, and he just basically said it wasn't his problem. And
He was 21 years old at the time.
no, I didn't get the paperwork until '96, July of '96, when they came after me.
So for 8 years, they were quiet.
No.
No, it was.
It's wrong.
It was repossessed in, I think, in '89.
No, 90.
I mean, or '90.
You're Mrs. Dixon?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Are you his mother?
No, I'm. I am his stepmother.
When did you become his stepmother?
In 1989.
When, for the first time, did you hear from this credit company?
On July of '96, we got some documents in the mail from this lawyer that was taking over the case to retrieve the money that was owed on it.
Now, Mr. Dixon, so what you're telling me is between the time that the truck was repossessed
Yes.
in 1989 until 1996, you knew nothing about the fact that there was a deficiency when the truck was repossessed?
I was not aware of it, no.
Now, you were made aware, however, between 1989 and 1996 that there were money's owed on the truck.
No, I wasn't. Chrysler sent me a letter saying that it was sold for more than it was owed.
Let me see that.
I don't have. It was 9 years ago. I don't have that. I don't keep that records
Your
that
Honor, I have paperwork here showing about the repossession, the year. I have letters from the attorney.
Does anybody have any letters between 1989 and 1996?
Yes.
Can I see them?
Yes. But, Your Honor, what gets me about this whole thing is our grandchildren.
It's been on my...
Our presents, for the kids' presents are sitting right here that they didn't get for Christmas.
I called my dad, told me to come by with them.
This has all been because of all this that's been going on.
How many children do you have?
I have 3.
Your Honor, this is the second time we've taken him to court. 1996, they pulled the same thing. They moved, did not let us know where the kids were living. And also, my husband finally got to see him at Christmas down at his other son's house.
Well, that was in 96.
That was in 96.
So
they kept us from us for 5 months. Grandkids.
he stated to me that the way things are at this point, it wouldn't be a good idea for us to see the kids, the
You've
grandchildren.
always been welcome. You have always been welcome.
Mr. Dixon, what's the problem, while I'm looking this over, with your father visiting with the children?
I called him and told him he's welcome to come anytime he wants.
But see, you heard him say, I was welcome, not my wife.
That is correct. He
Why
was
is that?
Because this is the reason we're here is because of her.
Why?
Because.
Well, tell me. Why do you think the
because
reason?
this is what she does for a living.
What do you mean this is what
Sues.
What? No, come on. That's only giving me one-word answers.
Well, she's got several other cases that she's suing other people for, and that's what this is all about.
Well,
if it was between my dad and I, we wouldn't be here.
It's not
You think
true,
so?
Michael.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you this. This is a confession of judgment that I'm looking at. Have you seen it?
No. Judgment? For what?
Well, it's a confession of judgment before lawsuit. And it's against your father by the finance company. Whereas he agrees to pay the balance due, which was $4,400, sir, so that they wouldn't sue him.
I've got paperwork that says it's a paid repossession, that I owe zero.
Well, but if that's true, sir, then you should take that up with the credit company. You should take care of what your father has been paying, and then take it up with the credit card company.
It's not my. I've done my time on it. I mean, yes,
sir.
It's been a paid repossession. I had paperwork showing that it was paid.
All right. First, A, you don't have the paperwork to show me. B, even if you did, your father is the innocent party. You bought the truck. You used the truck. You stopped paying on the truck. Defaulted on the loan. They repossessed your truck, right?
That's correct.
And he's paying. Now, if he's paying, and he's paying because the credit company is wrong, why should he have the aggravation of having to deal with them when it was your problem? You were guilty. You bought something you couldn't pay for. You stopped paying for it. They came and repossessed it. He was a good guy and co-signed for you, right?
Yeah.
So you got to take over the aggravation. Why should he have the aggravation?
Well, maybe we ought to check into the records. Maybe they're wrong.
Who's wrong?
Wherever they get this paperwork.
Right! What do you mean we? You. Not him.
I'm not being sued by them.
Michael, it's your problem, sir. You're a grown-up. Your father merely did you a favor and said, I will guarantee the payment. Certainly, they can go after him. But it's your problem. Don't you understand that? Sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They'll end up, hopefully, still loving each other. But not you. You're supposed to be in the background, and you're not supposed to instigate trouble.
And later today,
You couldn't tell which phone calls were hers and which phone calls were yours. Yes. Because You were dating her brother.
No, she was
she
dating
was
my
dating
brother.
your brother.
I don't even know your brother.
Listen, hey,
Since when?
Miss Hunter, don't talk to each other, because you annoy me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David and Annette Dixon say they had to pay the bank for his son, Michael's repossessed truck. Michael says the repossession took care of the debt.
Michael, there comes a time you have to grow up, sir, and accept responsibility for what you do. How many kids do you have?
3.
You take care of them?
Oh, yeah, very well.
Do you have a father who tried to do the same for you? You have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do.
Do you see them?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see them?
Yes.
And as far as your kids are concerned, you never use your children as...
I never have.
Good. All right.
Never have used them
Fine.
as a tool.
Then don't. Don't. It's the wrong thing to do. In this situation, this is your aggravation. Somebody's got to be aggravated with this lawsuit. Bird doesn't want to be aggravated with this lawsuit. Right? Right? Your father shouldn't be aggravated with this lawsuit. If somebody made a mistake, then you should say, Pop, they made a mistake. Let me take it over and I'll look into it. And I'll take care of it. So, Michael, fess up.
Your Honor.
Listen, let me tell you something about being a stepmother.
Yes.
You're supposed to butt out.
Okay.
Because they'll end up, hopefully, still loving each other. But not you. You're supposed to be in the background, and you're not supposed to instigate trouble. You got it? Good. All right. But meanwhile, you're suing for $4,000. Now, is that what you have actually paid?
No, we have paid $1,600 on this. He has paid me a total of $400 in 14 months.
So you have been making some payments, sir?
Yeah, I gave him just to keep her happy, to keep him happy.
So you acknowledge some sort of responsibility?
Just to keep my dad and I on good terms, I would have done anything.
Well, that's good. So far, you've paid $1,600. Is that right?
Yes, we have.
And according to you, Michael, you are going to be able to establish that this truck was sold without a deficit, correct?
Yes.
Good! Then I am going to give you, sir, an interim order. Your out-of-pocket so far is $1,600. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Good. In the event, of course, Michael, that you cannot establish to the satisfaction of the credit company that they are mistaken, this is without prejudice to your father, if he has to, coming back here, if you refuse to take on the obligation for the remainder of the bill, coming back to court to seek the remainder of the judgment. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. That's all.
Officer, excuse you may step out. Out this way, man. Back go to your rack, please.
Used to be real tight. Yeah, used to be. We used to work together every day.
And he said, I can come over.
You don't even remember
but she cannot.
Because we wouldn't be here.
That's...
If it was just you and I, we wouldn't be here.
That's
Why
not right.
not, Michael?
You know we wouldn't be here.
And now the next case.
Parties on Hunter versus Harvey. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Stephanie Hunter says her former roommate, 24-year-old Katrina Harvey, owes her for long-distance phone calls.
All right, this dispute is about a phone bill.
Yes.
You were living with the plaintiff, is that correct?
Yes, I was.
How did it come about that she was living with you?
Me and Katrina have been friends since we were about 16 years old. We were really close. She stayed with me before she moved away. I guess she was having problems down in Carolina where she was at. She decided she wanted to come back to California. I told her if she wanted to come back, you know, she can come stay with me until she got on her feet. And she did that.
And the only arrangement was that she paid for her own long-distance phone calls.
Well, what it was is she paid me $100. She only stayed a month, and she was supposed to pay for her own phone bill. Yes, her own, all the phone calls that she made, she was supposed to pay for it.
Okay, and you say she left and didn't pay the phone bill.
Right.
And how much was her phone bill?
The phone bill was $362 and...
For 1 month?
For 1 month. It was $362.65.
Okay. Your defense.
When I moved there, originally I was there for like 3 weeks total. And when I first got there, I gave her $100. And she said, the only thing I want you to pay for is for your phone calls. So I said, well, apply that to the phone calls.
She's lying.
Just a second.
No, you're lying.
Just a second.
She is lying.
Shh. Hey. Okay. First of all, madam, what you're telling me now is nothing remotely similar to what you put in your answer, which I have. I mean, that's a good story.
No, but I told
But that's a good story. But in your answer, you say...
Well, she just told you that I gave her $100.
Listen to me. In your answer, you say that you agreed to pay the phone bill, but the problem was you couldn't tell which phone calls were hers and which phone calls were yours.
Yes.
Because you were dating her brother.
No, she was
dating
my brother.
your brother.
I don't even know your brother.
Listen, hey,
Since when?
Miss Hunter, listen to me. Don't talk to each other, because you annoy me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Having sisters.
You do have a sister.
I do not have any sisters.
You do have a sister.
Just give me a sister then. Tell my mother that.
Girl,
let her know that. She has extra children.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Stephanie Hunter is suing her former roommate, Katrina Harvey, for unpaid phone bills. Katrina claims they both made calls to the same phone number, making them equally responsible for the phone bills.
She was dating your brother, and both of you were calling your brother, which accounts for a lot of the long-distance calls, and that's your defense. It had nothing to do with this $100 that you say you gave her on deposit.
Both of us were not necessarily calling my brother. My phone calls were made to, when I moved out here, and I was not having any type of problems, I just decided to come back. When I decided to come back, she, God, I forgot my thought.
Because you're lying.
No.
Miss Hunter, listen to me. Miss Hunter, if you speak to her again, I'm going to dismiss your lawsuit.
Okay.
Understood?
Okay.
And then you're going to leave here with nothing.
Okay.
Not even the opportunity of having it heard.
Okay.
The calls that I were making were to my place of employment because I transferred out here. That number and my son's father is the only. I've made some calls to my brother, but not as not as nearly any of that.
All right. Now, 803 is where you came from. Is that right?
Yes.
Area code 803.
Mm-hmm.
And what's 813?
I have no idea what 813 is.
The highlighted portions are Trina's calls.
Judge,
excuse me?
The highlighted portions are Trina's call, and Judge,
just a second, you say that, but what I'm trying to figure out is most of these calls are to an 803.
That's Columbia, South Carolina.
Right.
The ones that are circled in blue are mine. They're a bottom portion. There's about 5 phone calls that are mine.
I understand that.
And that's to Newcastle.
Listen to me.
The 813, I don't know.
St. Petersburg, Florida. Who lives in St. Petersburg, Florida?
Her friend
Who knows?
Angela.
She has a million men. Who knows? Who
Listen to me.
knows in Florida?
Hey,
who knows?
One more time, and then you're both gone. Do me a favor. Would you add up all these Newcastle calls here for me?
Sure.
And how does she want a reconnect fee when her phone was already disconnected long before she ever received that bill?
Just a second.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. You was calling me from a payphone harassing me.
No, I was.
Yes, you were.
Trina, that was after that.
Very good.
$50.73, Judge.
Now, $312. How much, madam, did you give her towards your phone bill?
$100.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that the $100 was towards that, because if it was, you would have absolutely included it in your answer. So forget about the $100. You didn't give her $100 towards your long-distance bill as soon as you walked in.
Yes, I did.
Well, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You lived in her house. There was gas, there was electric, there was food, there was all the
I was there
other
for
things.
3 weeks, and that is nothing that I would not have done for her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't believe you, but let us assume I did believe you. You still would have owed her over $200 for the phone. How much did you give her?
I'm just trying to tell you that she was calling my brother just as much as I was using that phone. That's how come we cannot determine which one of those calls were hers and what were mine.
I can determine it. 803 is where you came from, correct?
And my brother comes from 803, too.
Just a second. Do you have your last month's phone bill, the phone
Yes,
or
I do.
a couple of months ago? Can I take a look at
I
it?
do, and I also have my...
Don't.
Okay.
Just give me what you have.
Okay. Here you go.
Because
This
what I
one,
would
too.
like to do is just to compare to see how many times she called her brother in previous months.
She did not get in
Call her
touch with him until she got in touch with me.
You know, you got a good story all the time. I'm just going to look at this and see. Just a second. Now, she wasn't very close to your brother. No. She wasn't very close to your brother. And this is for what month? June? Oh, yes, this is the same month. Yeah. And then you come. I do not believe, madam, that you gave her $100 in advance towards your long-distance bill. I don't believe that at all. What you owe is $312, and the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $312. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.